Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here in one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap because we're gonna get out here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck. And our sound truck is used for just what you see. We come out to community days, we play loud music, and be able to just have a good time with it and enjoy our community. Our sheriff's office, you get to see us in a little different light. We're not always out there writing tickets or locking people up. We come out to your community day and be a part of your day and help you celebrate your community. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that, was with our sound truck. We're here today in one of our communities. We brought our ice cream truck out. A lot of people like to laugh when I say the sheriff's office owns an ice cream truck, but this is exactly what it's for, is we bring it out to our communities. We give away ice cream. We don't charge for the ice cream. The ice cream is free. And we have partners in our businesses in our community that help pay for the ice cream so that we can give it away for free. And we give it away. We go to schools. This is just one of many events that we bring our ice cream truck to. We go to the school systems. We come out to community days, block parties. We just come out and see you and help you enjoy and celebrate your community. Thank you.
Family, I am your host today, Infinity Sia, the Media Relations Director for New Order National Human Rights Organization, and also the media brand behind the Future Time that's regarding as still to come. That's what the initials TFTRASTC stands for, the Future Time regarding as still to come. It's not just a brand, it's a ministry. It's also my calling, and it's a conscious assignment. I also create media that heals, to awaken, as well as elevate. And we also looking to partner with other holistic leaders, educational, and organizations. So that's ready to transform the community, and not just by conversation. Again, today I'm hosting solo. We're going to tap into truth, as well as in the conscious, and also we're going to get into the community. And I also want to share a little bit about myself. I do have my notes here because I have to have my notes today. I don't have anything to feed off of, so I got to make sure I'm getting to the nitty gritty of what need to be said. I am a spiritual educator. Some of you might know that. I'm also a healer, a media creator, and a voice for those who are awake and those who are still waking up. My work is rooted in consciousness, alignment, as well as truth. I speak for the people who feel the system, but they don't fit in the system. I speak for the ones who see beyond this illusion. And let me be clear. I do not vote. I do not participate in their political system. Not because I don't care, it's because I'm too conscious to play in a structure that was never meant for us. It wasn't built for us, so I don't like participating in their cause. I speak for the woke and the sleep. I speak from a higher lens. Most of y'all already know that I'm a deep diver. No matter what subject we on, I'm going to go down and break it all the way down. And you might not understand what I'm talking about, but eventually one day you will realize exactly what Infinity was saying to you. So this month of May is also mental health awareness as well as Mother's Day. And so I just want to acknowledge the mothers, the grandmothers, the aunties, the guardians, all of the women who hold families together while carrying an invisible weight. So we're going to take this little moment right quick. I'm just finna pause and we just finna send some energy out to all of the mothers. I also want to radiate peace, love, healing, and harmony, good health, and I like to enjoy abundant gifts, and I hope you like to enjoy the abundance of life every day. How y'all being? So mental health is not just weakness. It's not weakness. It's wellness. It's alignment. It's survival. And it's how we stay whole in a world that profits from us being broken. So call in and share your thoughts, 678-685-3832. I am here. Call in, state your solutions. You can shout out your mothers or just show some love. 470-689-3832. Also, New Order has an event coming up May 30th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m. and 1 p.m. It's Guns Down, Stop the Violence. This is not just an event. This is a movement. We are losing too many of our youth to gun violence, and it's time to shift the culture. So I have a few questions. What really driving teen gun violence? Could it be fear? Is it influence or survival? Because it can be either those three. For one, some people can be scared. Some people can be influenced by it. Some people can use it for survival. And I also, someone asked me, if you see a teen holding a gun, what would you say? How can you help the teens that's out here carrying the guns? First, we have to realize to understand where some teens come from. You got to look at their background. Or their background, do they come from being in the streets, or do they come from mob ties? It's in their DNA. You have to think about that. You also got to think about the other kids that have a background of nonviolence. They don't have dealings with guns or any type, but those kids can be influenced by the other teens that's out here that's used to carrying guns, that's used to, you know what I'm saying, protecting themselves, because that's all they know. If you have a gun, ain't nobody gonna mess with you for protection. And then here they is getting influenced. Then you got those kids. You might have a good chance with saving the kids that's being influenced to pack the gun because they not used to it. You might can get them, but it'll be sort of challenging for the ones that background and come from the streets, that come from packing guns, come from like a violent household that they grew up from. It's in their DNA. And when you're planted in your DNA like that, that's sort of hard, because they're gonna ride or die for their lineage, for the people, you know, their grandparents, all the way before their grandparents, the ones that was out here in these streets doing violence or whatever. So it's a chance, you know, depends on, I guess, the conscience of those kids. Like, do they really want to be packing a gun? Like, we really have to get in nitty gritty with these children when it comes to guns. Because most kids from the country, they know about hunting. So if they hunting, they know much about the guns versus the kids being in the city part where they just want to protect themselves and things of that nature, or live a legacy of their dad because maybe he had a higher rank in the gang or something, or the mob, and they want to live up to their, you know, their standards. So they out there packing the guns and causing chaos. And I always think about those kids that went to the Piedmont Park. I think it was like 4 kids that had guns, and they went and they started shooting, and a young lady lost her life. And it's just what was in their minds, like what started in their minds for them to even want to have the guns and say, let's go to this park. Like, what was their motives? Like, we have to really pay attention to the children, because I be out here in my door dashing and seeing a lot of stuff, and parents, most of the parents got to do better, because your kids are out here, you in a house, high drinking, and your kids out here, you know, doing God's know what. I pulled up yesterday, and it was the kids, 2 girls, they look like they may be 5 or 6 years old, right? And they had the music on in the car, but the car was on, and they are dancing with the music and stuff. So I'm like leaving the food, and then the parents came outside, and I heard her say, who in that car? Who in the car? So I'm walking by, and I'm like, man, ain't nobody in the car. And the little girl was like, what you here for? And I'm like, don't y'all be in the car, you know? And I kept moving. So when I turned around, I was trying to get the parents' attention, but she hurried up and closed the door. So I'm like, what's important to you to know that that music is playing and that car is on, and you got these 2 babies out here with the doors open, out here listen to music and dancing, and anything can trigger their mind. Let's get in and put it in reverse. Let's get in and see if we can drive, and then there you go. Like, we have to pay attention. If you don't want to pay attention to your children, there are services out here where you can take your kids, drop them off, or you got parents that probably want to adopt kids that you might want to put them up for adoption or something. Because if you're not paying attention to your child, your kids, they're going to be in the streets, and there's going to be more violence, more not knowing what's going on, and just taking on behavior that going to be out of control, and you ain't going to be able to control them at all. So some more questions that I have. How do we make peace more power than the streets? How can peace become way powerful than the streets? Because most people go to the streets to find peace if they don't get it at home. So if the teens and kids don't have peace at home, so they getting out here in these streets, like, how can we make peace to where they don't have to go out in these streets to find peace of war, peace of struggle, peace of, you know, that we want peace of love. We don't need peace at war. We don't need to go and have peace of destructions. So how can we create power more powerful than the streets. What can we do to protect our youth before tragedy happens? What can we do? What can we do to protect our kids, your youth, before tragedy happens? It starts at home. What do you have at home? Then from your house, where can you go to the community at, to where, hey, you don't got to be out here hanging with your friends in these streets, because any bad seed can walk up and you can be influenced, or anything like that can happen. So again, what can we do for being in our home with our kids? How can we teach? What can we get them to see? What can we teach? What exercises can we do to build confidence in them that they can do good in life? What can we do as parents, guardians about that? What can we do in the community? What can we build and put in the community to where if they're bored at home, or they did all of their chores and they done finished their homework at school and they don't have what can we do? What can we put out there in the community for the kids when they're bored? What can we do as parents that can entertain our own kids? You know what I'm saying? Since we are the parents, or majority of the role models to the kids, what can we do to keep them out of the streets? What can we do? What activities? What type of gifts that you done awaken? Like, can you build something? Like, can you draw? Can you play an instrument? Like, can you write poetry? Can you draw? Like, what can you teach your kids to want them to be at home practicing craft, or saying, hey, since we done did this, is there a school? Is there a facility I can go? Is there an after school program where I can go, where I can continue to draw, where I can continue to learn? What books can I read? And majority of books, I feel like everything is in the books. If you can get a good book that got instructions, exercises where the kids can be involved and they can help them build their confidence, become, who they desire that they want to be, can help them with math, can help them, build things. Like anything that they can pick up and learn and bring to you, and look, Mom, look, Dad, this is what I created. This is what I read in the book. This is what I got. Like, again, what can we do? Because everything starts at home. So by being at home, again, what can we do as parents? Again, how can we make peace more powerful than these streets? What is really driving teen gun violence? Is it fear, influence, survival? What can we do to protect the youth before tragedy hits? So tap in with your solutions. 470-689-3832. Call in, tap in. Let's build. And happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, even the fathers that got their kids and there's no woman involved. Happy day to you. Again, so I want to go into Black voters protection in the system. So let's talk about Black voters protection and voting rights, but from a conscious lens. Again, I don't vote. I don't participate in their system because I understand and understand to overstand the system. Again, I understand to overstand. So we're going to leave it right there. We finna go to break and we're going to tap back into this again. This is Keeping It Real with New Order.
Hi, my name is Lauren and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your film live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your TV show, sitcom, and showcase and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are exciting times that we're in. Traditional TV is but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is on the Roku platform. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It has a viewership of 53 million and counting. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and showcasing your movie or show, or interested in coming in as a sponsor or advertiser, please send us your contact information with a brief description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you.
Today's world exposes our youth to life experiences that are well beyond that which their years should allow. Violence, trauma, poverty, injustice. Our children's lives and their livelihoods are in constant danger. Wisdom Inc. is a community-based organization designed to save young lives by reducing violence and assisting youth in their personal development. Wisdom stands for wise individuals structuring and developing youthful minds. Through our collective wisdom, we can change lives for the better. Wisdom Inc., reducing violence, developing youth.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real with New Order. I am your host, Infinity Sales. So let's tap back into your solutions. Give us a call, 470-689-3832. Don't be afraid to talk conscience. That's what we're here for. We are here to build. We are here to share solutions. We are here to share perspectives and views and all of that. So before we went to break, I was in the middle of wanting to discuss the black voter protection in the system. And again, I don't vote. I don't participate in their system. I do understand, to overstand the system. Again, I understand, to overstand their program. And I speak for those who feel the same way but don't have a program. Again, call in 470-689-3832. So what happened in Alabama and Tennessee shows us that the system protects itself, not the people. Representation is manipulated, power is controlled, and the awakened can see it clearly. So again, call in. The number is, where is it? 470-685-3832. Tap in. Let's talk about these topics, because this is happened yesterday, going on yesterday in Alabama and Tennessee. So I want to talk about the conscious divide in America. So let's talk about, because this is deeper than politics. Everything is always spiritual. And I'm always talking about the spirituality part of things. That's the most important that people need to start tapping into, because it's the inner part. It's the stuff that you don't see within the physical eye. And everybody always say, yeah, this is a spiritual warfare, everything, but nobody does anything about it. Nobody is really tapped in, seeing the things from the human eye. And I always say, if you can't see beyond the human eye, you still asleep. You need to wake up to where when you stare off in space, you can see dimensions, you can see certain things. And I get it, everybody is not made like that. Everybody don't have that gifts, but you have to be able to see beyond the 3D world, because this is the 3D dimension. There's plenty dimensions out here. You go to sleep every night and you can be in another part somewhere until you wake back up into your 3D dimension. But be grateful for life, because this is an experience, but you have to know why you having a human experience. Just tap in. And I always tell people to get involved into your spirituality. You got to do the shadow work. You have to take away the things that you was taught. All of this stuff. You got to deprogram yourself. Go all the way back. Like if you didn't have your parents, you didn't learn about God and religion and these schools. If you didn't have that and you just was a fallen angel and you hit the planet and you was awakened and you looking around, who are you? Where your energy come from? What do you come here to do? What is your mission? Everybody has a purpose. Everybody has a journey. Everybody has this something to fulfill in this human form. And I'm always talking about your soul. You need to tap into your soul. Your soul is your map. Your soul will guide you through this living existence, but you got to break free, because when you're birthed from your mom, you are bounded by a contract that the government gives you. So that's really tainting who you are, your soul. You are pronounced dead at birth and you die again with a whole nother one. So we need to tap in to know what this stuff really mean and why do we have to go through it, because people always say the Lord, and I hear them say, oh Lord, thank the Lord and all this stuff. We need to really figure out what that Lord is, because to me, the Lord is the landlord of this land, the people that connect this whole system, these phones, these books, the education. They can hear you, they can tap in, they got your blood. Everything is in the blood. They always say in the blood of Jesus. Everything is, your name is powerful, your blood is powerful, but they have control over it. You have to learn how to get your power back. In order to get your power back, you have to tap into spirituality. If you choose to, you gotta not be afraid to take these quantum leaps into the unknown, because the unknown is where all of your answers will come. So again, there are 3 groups of conscience. You have the sleeping, the woke, and the awakened. And let me say this clear to everyone. Both the sleeping and the woke are a danger to the awakened. And let me tell you why. The sleeping are dangerous because they move unconsciously. They're on autopilot and they don't know what they're doing. You have the woke. They are dangerous because they move reactively. They think they know, but they're still operating in the system. They're programmed. They're still inside the system. And then you have the awakened. We all move with clarity, alignment, and divine intelligence. When you hear people always talking about clarity, being in alignment, you can tell that they conscious, because everything got to be in order. Everything has to be, I'm going to say, a God-like line. Everything has to be in order. And I be saying this a lot when I be speaking to people about relationships and all this stuff. Even in my own personal life, I need clarity. And ladies, even in men, I'm going to speak to both because it's vice versa. When you're in a group with somebody, even in business, doing something, when you go to somebody and you want clarity and they don't give you clarity, that's a big red sign that you need to be mindful, because that's not of God. That's not of a higher conscious. Everybody, and if you going and somebody come to you and they trying to get a final answer, trying to get clarity, give them people clarity. Because if you don't give them clarity, that's going to lead them with an answer, and you might not going to like how they respond. Because one thing about it, when God tell them to do something, when them ancestors tell them to do something, they're going to move, and you might not like it. They might in your business or in the relationship or anything, and then you like, what went on? Why this? Why that? Why you stop answering the phone, or why are you distant? Because one thing about conscious people, they are very in tune with spirit. They are very in tune with them ancestors. And when they say they need clarity and everything needs to be in alignment with their purpose and what it is that they doing, it has to be in alignment. And I always say about this, when you are the head person, not the tech, when you are the head, when you are a leader, you are a generator. And when you are a generator, people plug into you. Everybody's plugging into your source. You don't want your source to be drained. So you need to get clarity from everybody, and it's everybody. When you want to be plugged into somebody's generator, you need to make sure that generator is for you. You need to make sure that generator finna charge you. And if you are the generator, you need to make sure the people you going to getting charged, everybody need to be in alignment. Because if there is no alignment and there is no clarity, guess what? There is a facade, there is some lies, there is something that's not mixing. And just like the tower on the tarot card, that tower gonna come down. Just like that tower people was climbing up and they trying to get to heaven, how that tower came down. Anything built on a facade and built on lies is not gonna last. The truth bound to come out. So again, make sure that when people seeking for clarity, when they coming to you as a leader, coming to you as a pastor, coming to you as an important person, give them clarity, especially if you in a relationship. When somebody come to you and they trying to figure out what's going on, where they stand, how is this, don't dismiss. Get them what they asking for so things can move smoothly. Because if you don't, I'm telling you, when you never know who you dealing with. You never know who you dealing with, and you do wrong. When you do the Most High, when you do that Mother God wrong, when you do her kids, I'm telling you, the ground you walk on gonna shake. And you better hope that you still can be standing. Because if not, you're going to be on your butt and you're going to go back to all them people you did wrong, begging for forgiveness and all that other stuff. So just be mindful. Move with alignment, move with clarity. That is the most important right now, especially in 2026. You need to make sure that you're involving, because if you don't involve, you will be left behind. Again, this planet is not in the dark ages. This planet been shifted. The shift been happening all around. You have to shift with this planet. Forget the government, shift with them. But you got to make sure you are in alignment with what's going on, because if you still prehistoric and you supposed to be doing something that God told you to do when you ain't doing it, eventually you're going to have to come back up off this planet, and you're going to have to be reincarnated, and you're going to have to come back. So if you here and you know you here, you got something to do, man, go ahead. And if you got people like me in your space saying you need to elevate your being, you need to do this, just take it as something. Don't take it as, oh, you're being checked, or oh, you don't know what oh, I got this. Because me, I'm all about elevating. I'm all about shifting my being. I'm all about celebrating the seasons of change. Because if you don't have growth, then where's your change? If things don't grow, what happened? If you don't shed your dead skin, what happens? What happened to a snake when it can't shed its skin? It's going to die, right? What happened to a plant that's plotted in soil and you don't nurture it, don't feed it, don't make it so where it can grow its roots? It's going to die, right? So you got to look at yourself, because you are a seed. We all are seeds. That's why we're able to create the things that we're able to create. So again, I don't want to be like really preaching, but we got to be tapped in. We have to tap into the energy. We got to be aware. There's nothing wrong with being aware. Like, we have to wake up. If we don't wake up, the kids, what about the kids? We have to think about the babies that's coming. We got to be conscious enough to, when we bring these babies into this world, when we bring these babies into this world, these babies need to know confidence, truth, all of this stuff. We can't just be putting them in the system, putting them on their programs, when we really don't know what the programs teach. Unconsciously, they can be programming them for something as you might think, oh, they learning, but you never know what it is and how your kids really feel, because majority of the parents do not pay attention. They turn the TV on, they about their business, and the kids happy and content, but not knowing what subconscious is, because your subconscious is the most important. Your conscious and your subconscious got to be in alignment for things to actually manifest for you. And again, when I'm saying be mindful of your kids, not too long ago, it was this young girl listening to one of them R&B songs. I can't think what it was saying, but it was talking about a sexual position. This girl was 5 years old, and she was singing it. All happened, and I looked at her mom, and I'm like, why would you let her say that? Why would you let her sing that song like that? Because eventually it's going to get in her subconscious, and then you're going to wonder why that Jezebel spirit came around, and you're going to wonder why she be on them men laps and them boys. You know what? Y'all know where I'm getting at. We got to be mindful of what our children, what we listen to around our kids. So again, we must move with clarity and alignment, and listen to divine. I always tell people, from what I have studied, the divine is all about mother energy. It's all about the divine. The Holy Spirit is all about the Father's energy. It's all about the masculine energy, and I call it the ego, because it's ego to me, because that's who we are known for in the community and the word. It's the Father God, it's the Father, the Son, and the Spirit. That's what we was taught. While the mother, on the other hand, that created the Father, she don't get no credit for none of that. And then you can look in the Bible. Look how many times they speak about a woman. Look how many times they speak the word divine. About the same amount of time that they speak about the women in the Bible. So we got to put two and two together. Like, we need to really protect the mothers, the women, and women, especially with the melanated community, the black. We have to really, really put it like this, give them back the culture, because the culture that we live in, they designed it for us to be created and made like that, and it's just so low vibrational. And if you can show me a high vibrational culture for us, please let me know. Please let me know. And don't say you can go to the arts, because 9 times out of 10 you going into these art museums, that art is low vibrational. What type of art is? What do it represent? Like, come on. Even with the music and all of this stuff, is still low vibration. Man, we gotta get it together. And for the women, I get a lot of people, like, we gotta find our authentic self. We gotta be able to be confident in our authentic self, man. Just when you look at majority of our women out here, they might not have Jezebel spirit, but they represent the Jezebel. Because if you can see somebody and first thing go to your mind, sexy and ooh, and it just, that's a Jezebel. We have to know how we dressing. I know everybody like them high heels, and man, you need to know why they created the high heels. That's the most detachment for the women that any man design that can have, is a woman tiptoeing around here and her heel not touching the bottom, her heel not being in alignment with her spine, her hips, in her mind, they need to be in the line. And y'all here wondering why, if you're a woman, you wonder why you're always got to get your baby cut out your stomach and stuff. And the doctor really not. They not going to tell you it's because you wearing high heels. They not. But you can go. If you trust your doctor, just go and ask him the question and see what would he tell you about your position in your hips and why you couldn't push your baby out. Another thing that women go through, if your man or your husband always say, man, you bipolar, man, you crazy, you this and you that, it's because you're thrown off your balance because you have on heels. That's one of the main things. And it's a video, because back in the day, they used to break the women's feet. The man used to break the women's feet to weaken them so they can't be as powerful, so they can be weak and not have their power. So when it changed, as the culture grew, their heels instead of breaking, and when you walk in tiptoe, that's breaking your foot. Tap into this. I ain't the only one. And another thing, your hair, your DNA, that is very important. You should not be covering your DNA with somebody else's DNA. You shouldn't be out here let me tell you, I used to do all of that until one day I had to ask Spirit, I had to ask God, why I got this? Why this? Why that? Am I not confident in myself? Do I not have to go? And then when I really figure out why they gave us that, gave us the strength, because it's confidence, it's us not finding the beauty in our authentic self. And ask yourself to this day, most women can't go out of the house without putting their wigs on. They can't go out of the house without putting their makeup on. They got to have the bonnet on their head. They cannot, come on, find that God frequency and rock it. Get them people back their culture. Get them back to that color hair. Y'all see them people with them red hairs and pink. That's a sign of mental illness. But people use it as culture. And they use it as beauty. They use it as style. That's why I don't get down with this culture stuff. Talking about beauty is pain. You got to go through this. Put on tight shoes. No, that is the world. That is for the powers that be to size you up. That is for that. And then to make it so bad, they got all black brothers. All of y'all when they be in them videos and doing all that stuff, degrading the women, got the women. But do you? But I'm here to let you know that is not authentic. That is not of the original God frequency. You done tapped into what the world. And the world's beauty, the world of what the white man that want the black women to look. You know what I'm saying? Somebody done created, they say Madam C.J. Walker done stole it, the straightening comb. They, back in the day, they wanted to look like the all-American woman. To this day, guess what? Half of all people want is looking like a what? Or vice versa. You probably have them trying to tap into our energy, looking like us. But find where you at and be authentic with it. That's all I can say. Be authentic with it. So let me get back on subject. So let's get on racism. People always say racism is a crime, racism this, but that's a program. Really, the injustice is the crime, right? So racism is not a pigment, it's a program, and it's coded into system, policies, and perception. And when you unplug from the program, I'm telling you, you can see the matrix for what it is. And to tap back into yesterday on the Tennessee and the Alabama, how I'm seeing all people hooping and hollering and they mad and that. And a part of me, I was shaking my head and I was really laughing because it's like we have so much time on our hand to where we still trust them. And I feel like we could have been a whole to have taken over, put the white people up out of there, and we can be controlling and ruling the course of ruling. But no. And we don't have to be loud with it. Because one thing about my ancestors and who I study and going back in my genealogy and stuff like that, we was very private. They was going against all of this stuff. They was going against the Moors, the both sides. What they did, the OOR and the UUR. Man, if you know that them the ones backstabbed everybody, man. But we want to be really with the whites. We really need to be attentioning with our own kind too, especially if they any type of Moors. Somebody gonna say, I seen on YouTube, oh, they got the good Moors and the bad Moors, and I'm thinking to myself, all of y'all bad, because all of y'all gave everything to these people to take over. But again, like I was saying, my ancestors, they was against this corporate stuff. They was against it, and they moved private. And everywhere I go, they always say, do private. Don't be out here protesting. Don't be out here hooping and hollering. And the reason why they say that, because you got the power to be, the devil, whatever you want to call it. They sit back and they get energy off you hooping and hollering and knowing you ain't doing nothing but stressing yourself out. Instead of you privately creating system or creating a way to move or doing stuff privately and having yourself set up to, like, one day if they do see, it's going to be too late because you're going to already have your stuff set up. Be like how they do, the Scientologists and these other group of people. They got a whole neighborhood. The whole neighborhood, they got their church, they got stores, a whole 100 acres or whatever. Can't nobody go fence built in. That's their own community. As a whole, we can be doing the same thing, but no, majority of our people are in the system. They still stuck on the system. They in the president. And y'all know it's not built for us, and they don't care. Stop fighting with those people. You don't have to be out here fighting. Wake up and get in tune and move in silence to build. Get out of the system. If you get them back, build something, give these people back their birth certificate and tell them that you are alive, and you can prove that you are alive from your ancestral lineage and stuff. If you can prove, get these people back. Set up trust. Operate off of trust. Don't operate off this corporate ID stuff because, again, you are their property. So, again, let's take another break. This is Keeping It Real with New Order. Call in 470-685-3832.
Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel. visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank
too.
you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Welcome back to Keeping It Real with New Order. I am your host, Infinity Sia. Go ahead and tap in with your solution. Give us a call, 470-689-3832. Again, what's really driving teen gun violence? Is it fear, influence, or is it survivor? What can we do to protect our youth before tragedy? How do we make peace more powerful than the streets? How can we make peace more powerful than the streets? So again, New Order has an event, Guns Down, Stop the Violence, on May 30th, 2026 at 10:30 a.m., 1 p.m. The flyer is on our YouTube channel, so please go and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and it's at New Order for Life. So you can type in at New Order for Life and you will see the logo, just like the logo is up here to my left, I believe. You can that's the correct channel. Also, if you would like to donate to the movement, hashtag NONHRO is the where you can donate to New Order. So again, I am enjoying myself here. So again, you can tap in with your solutions and your opinion. And again, when we are awakened and when we can move with clarity, alignment in divine intelligence, we can unplug from the system and we can know how the matrix really is. But we have to start with ourselves. We have to become our higher. We have to want this for ourselves, because we cannot be out here fighting the system when you still in the system. You have to get out of the system, and you can do it quietly. You don't got to be out there hooping and hollering and fussing and cussing and mad, because again, this stuff been going on for years. And if as a community that you live in, if you ain't click in your head like, hey, let's figure out as us, as melanated people, as black African Americans, or whatever you want to call yourself, to get in to where you can have the whole house, nothing but the NIGGERs. Hey, that's on you. You can't sit here and be fighting these people when your own people gave them the power to do so. So we have to really, we got to do better as a community. You have to know what's going on, man. Let them people know you're alive and not dead. Figure out how you can do what you need to do and say, hey, here go your birth certificate. Hey, here go your Social Security. I don't want to be part of it. But until then, man, you can't be fighting. You can't be, if you're not as a whole, because what it say when it's more than one people, God hear you more, or things happen faster if it's one or more people. So if you got a group of people, like I said, when it's a group of people and when you got one generator or however many generators, everything need to be in alignment. When I say alignment, everything cannot be off, because if one thing off, is not going to move the way it should. Everything got to be in alignment. Maybe in whole. Y'all can pick a time where y'all can pray together. Pick a time to meditate on the scripture. Everybody got to do. You don't got to be in a circle together, but you can pick a time. Hey, we can wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning, get on this prayer call, and we can sit here and put the energy out, because everything is all about energy. And it's the stuff that come out of your mouth. It's the stuff that come out of your mouth. And you want to go in deeper with that, you got to watch what you eat, because what you eat can cause you to talk a certain way. Everything is all connected. So we got to just be mindful of these things, okay? And again, if you out here choosing to vote, make sure you investigate who these people are that you want to see. Don't sit up here and not know, but you expect somebody else to get in and do it for you. Most people always want somebody to do the work, and they don't want to do the work themselves. But just to be aware of what's going on in the community around you. Ooh, we have a caller. Thanks for calling Keeping It Real with New Order. State your name and tell me where you calling from. Hello, caller, you on live?
Yes.
State your name. Where you calling from?
Ann calling from Forest Park.
Hey, Ann from Forest Park. You have anything that you want to say about? I had said some questions today, like what can we do to make peace more powerful in the streets?
My opinion is that electronic devices.
Okay.
Most people let their kids babysit with electronic devices. More personal contact.
Turn your TV, your audio in the back, whatever you watching us on, turn it down a little bit. And go back to what you're saying with the computer devices, because I believe that's influence as well of gun violence and all that stuff too. So
yes, because on those videos you have all the video games where the video games with violence. All of them have some kind of violence in them, and kids get so absorbed in these video games that some of them don't think they live their bring it to reality.
Right.
So my opinion is to be more personal contact with your kids than letting them let them babysit with electronic devices.
Okay, so you think that can be driving? So what you think can be driving teen gun violence? Is it fear, influence, or survival? Would you say influence? Because you said something about the video games.
Video games, because some kids these days, where we have this topic of mental illness, where people don't want to believe in mental illness, that their kids be so absorbed in these video games that they can't tell reality from fake. Because if you look at the video games, they look real. They don't look like the games that back in the day where kids, you could tell it's a game.
Like
these games look real.
Right.
They don't look like video games. And kids be into these video games, and there's a lot of violence on these video games.
And you also got the ones where you put the glasses on and they make you feel like you in a 3D world. So I can see where you getting it because you experiencing it. And you can be still in that delusion, in that hypnosis of that game and get out here in these streets and just do what God knows what. Now you either done took a life or took your life or just now you in jail for something that you feel like you in a video game. And now you done woke up and done did some stuff.
Yes, so now, you got yourself in trouble because you don't play this video game so many times that now you see this scenario, which is real, not in the video game, and you acting like you was acting in the video game. And now you really done did something that you can't take back.
Gotcha.
And a video game, you can reset it.
Right. Okay, so we have one more last thing. So what about the Alabama and the Tennessee and how the people are upset because they losing their black vote or the black people that's in powerful seats?
That's when I always say you should, when you go ready to vote, do your research on who you're voting for. Mm-hmm. See what they stand for, what have they done, and what have they done, and are they your best interest in you for you to vote for them. Don't just vote for people that you see on TV that say, oh, I like how he looks. They sound good, but the ads on television is not their true person.
Right.
They reaching for votes, so they're gonna say what they want you to hear, and say what you want them to say just to get a vote. But you have to look beyond what they have done before they start putting their face out there say they vote for them. What have they done behind doors?
Right.
Is that going to be what you need in office?
Right. Okay, so what do you think about how you feel about racism? Like, do you think it's a crime? Do you think it's a program? How you think the people or us as a community can go on or live with racism? Because it look like it's going to be here. It ain't going nowhere.
Racism is not going to go anywhere. That is from where you're raised, because racism is not born. It is how you was taught.
Right.
And if you look at the ground now, where our president is pulling all that old stuff back up and is bringing it back up, and then you got a lot of people who try to suppress it, who now feel they don't have to suppress it anymore because of our leaders.
Right.
But racism is taught. It's not something that inherited, and it is taught.
Yeah, it's like a program. You get programmed, and
people teach their children to hate. They teach their children racism.
And do you can believe it can come from all races, not just from the whites?
All races have some type of racism. It's not just white on black, black on white. Some black people hate white folks the same way, and they feel the same way white folks feel. So racism is taught. It's not something that is, like, if I hate white people, my kids gonna grow up hating white people.
Right.
That's how racism starts.
Right, you're right. It's taught, and then it's gonna carry on from generation to generation to generation, and it's not gonna go anywhere until we dismantle the whole system and get people to not to teach that. But unfortunately, people got their own what we call human rights, and they can do what they really want to.
Yeah.
All right, Miss Ann from Forest Park. I'm glad that you called in to chat with us a little bit. Anything else that you would like to say to our viewers?
You put down on electronic devices and be more personal contact with people.
Thank you.
Because right now, people do not talk to nobody. They texting, emailing.
True. I get your point.
This day and time, people don't even send postcards or personal letters. Everything is through an email or a text message.
And this cannot really
and
be.
They have no personal contact with nobody, so they don't. When they get around people, they don't know how to act. Because right now, in my line of work, I see a lot of young folks coming in and asking to pick up orders, and I say, "What's the name?" And they talking so low you can't even hear. I'm like, "Excuse me, what did you say?"
Like they need to be in confidence in who they is,
yeah,
but they
they're
can
not
get
used to talking to people, so they don't know how to talk to people.
Got you. I can understand that. They gotta start voicing their opinions, and sometimes we gotta get the parents and leaders and stuff too to say, hey, let's sit down and have a talk and to see where they feeling, because sometimes adults can be dismissal when a kid really wants something to say, or they can be afraid to say. That's why most people live behind the texts and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
And some people, like you say, they don't know how to communicate, so they'll rather say what they feel through a text or email.
Yeah. Because they're in front of a person, they don't know how to talk, they can't communicate. No communication skills. Everything is now through a text message or through these apps and stuff, how they communicate with people. So when face to face, they don't know how to communicate.
Gotcha. Well, okay, I'm glad that you called, and happy Mother's Day to you, and you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
All right, have a good day. We want to thank Miss Ann for calling in for Forest Park, sharing her opinion, perspective, and some solutions. Again, we have to tap in and tune in, and we all need to get together. So let's be a bill with keeping it real with New Order. That's why this show is here, so we can say the truth, say what's real. And this is a platform if you would like to participate in keeping it real with New Order, where if you want to come sit in with us, or maybe if you want to do the interview over the phone, you can reach out to me, 470-223-2424. Again, and when you call, state your name, leave a message and say you would like to be a guest on Keeping It Real with New Order. So again, you either going to be involving or you going to be left behind. And one thing for certain, you don't want to be left behind, because if you get left behind, there's nothing left but to come up off the planet, if you get what I'm saying. So start involving, getting more involved with yourself, figure out who you is. It's more in depth with what you see, you know, what people done told you who you are. It's more to depth. And again, family, this has been a powerful hour for me, and I'm so excited to where I can just sit here and talk to you to keep it real with my solutions and say some of the things about me and what I have going on outside of New Order. And again, I would like to thank you for tapping in, tuning in, and calling in and building with me today. This is the month of May for mental awareness as well as Mother's Day. Again, happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers out there. And again, I am your host, Infinity Seal, as well as the media brand for the future time regarding that still to come. Again, tap in, tune in, call in, let's build. This is another episode for Keeping It Real with New Order. How you being?